Okay, what's up, team? I love seeing all these new faces on here. Welcome to another team call. We are so lucky to have, I think we've had 3+ calls this month already, and we have a lot more. And usually we do them bi-weekly, but we have a lot of amazing guest speakers this month, so that's awesome. And I cannot wait, to continue with this. So tonight is Tuesday. I always have to look. April 11th. That's crazy. We're almost halfway through the month. But I want to quickly shout out, and a couple of them are on the call, people who've already changed lives this month. And you're amazing. So Sherry, Amber, Malia, Sarah, Caitlin, and Lisa. I said Lisa on here. You ladies are absolutely crushing it. So excited for you. Let's continue this momentum. So I am so excited to have Miss Kerri on our team call tonight. I actually met her at New Leader Conference in LA this past February. And right when I met her, her energy was absolutely contagious, like so positive. So I'm really excited to have her on our call tonight. We're so lucky to have her here. She's in Kansas, right? I believe. Yeah. And she's a 2-star diamond coach, a success starter, which means she had amazing success in her first 3 months as a coach. And she's a full-time teacher who you teach refugee children, which sounds incredibly rewarding. I'd love to hear about that. So thank you so much for being with us, Kerri. Do you want to share a little bit about yourself and your coach journey before diving into your call? I muted you. You just have to unmute yourself. There you go. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, are we good? Can you guys hear me? Sure, yeah. First of all, let me say that I don't know how to turn off all the notifications that are coming across my computer screen. So if you guys happen to see some notes from my mom or my husband or something, just go with it. But on a brighter note, it is a Tuesday and we only have I don't even know, 20 days left of school here in Kansas. We actually get out a little bit earlier and we start a little bit earlier because of harvest season here. So it's a very different world than what I grew up in. I started coaching 2 years ago. I started coaching kind of the same day that I started my first challenge. So I don't have the general start story that you usually hear with coaches, which is that they're trying to lose weight, loved the products, and then became a coach. That was not my story at all. In fact, when I became a coach, or when I started my first challenge, I was actually, I was in a really, really bad place. I was teaching, I was running myself ragged, I was trying my best to be healthy, but I did that thing where you follow every health tip that you find, which we know they all contradict each other, right? So I'd read something in a magazine and I'd do it. And then I'd read something else in a different magazine or an article and I do just all of them. And so I ended up running a race in front of family, friends, town. And I actually collapsed 10 meters from the finish line and was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance. They were concerned that I was seizing. I was not coherent at all. And when I got there, the doctor, once I was able to speak, they gave me 4 bags of fluid and he just said, "You are not eating like an athlete. I can tell that you are not eating like an athlete. If you're going to continue to work out like an athlete, you need to learn how to eat like an athlete." So that was kind of my, okay, I clearly need some help moment. I grew up a band nerd, so I really kind of blame that a little bit. I played the oboe. I was German club president. I was as nerdy as they come. And it was just something that I never learned. I didn't learn how to eat, quote unquote, like an athlete when I was growing up. And I really didn't need to. After college, I thought it was a lot more fun to eat chicken nuggets and pizza and all of that kind of stuff. And I really wasn't too worried about the weight that I had put on at that point. So when I started losing it, I didn't really know how to stop. So I was about 103 pounds at that point. So since then, I have done the 21-day fix extreme. I've done 21-day fix. I have done hammer and chisel. I have done core to force, doing body beast right now. And I'm about 20 pounds weight restored. So that's pretty cool. And I started coaching because I was already really fit and people were coming to me all the time asking what are you doing? How can I get involved in that? And I knew that I didn't have the tools to help them because I didn't have the education to help them or the nutritional background to help them. So this was really kind of a great opportunity for me to be able to provide people with programs that I knew were safe. These are my friends and family. I wanted to make sure that they were going to be safe. And so I trusted these programs. And also, I wasn't about to do this alone. I'm like, no, you guys are all doing this with me, every single one of you. So I actually had a super quick start. I think I was diamond in maybe 6 weeks or so. But it wasn't it wasn't necessarily in a way that I suggest doing it. It was like, everybody is going to be a coach. You're going to be a coach, and you're going to be a coach, and you're going to be a coach, because I found out that you just need these people in these spots, and you just need to build like this, and then you're a diamond coach. So I hit diamond super fast, and then I stayed there for like forever. And finally I figured out the type of person that I wanted to attract and the type of team that I wanted to build. And once I finally got into that habit, I'm going to show you guys tonight how I did that. Now I have this rockin' team, and we are having so much fun making health and fitness a fun thing and a reasonable thing that people can actually put into their lives every single day, no matter how busy, lack of education in their background, lack of fitness experience. So, alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to share the screen. I should put out warnings to all my friends, like, I'm about to do a live call. Your messages may be seen. Behave. I need to start doing that. Okay. Can everybody see this screen? I don't like to change it to the one where it's full screen, because then I never know if you all have left me or not. So I'm going to keep it like this, if you can see it. Thumbs up? Cool. All righty. So this is all about authentically growing your tribe. So it's all about growth mindset. So I like to compare it to farmers and hunters, and you guys may have heard this comparison before. Farmers are the ones who are constantly putting into their crop. They are watering, they are adding nutrition, they are caring for the soil, even though they don't necessarily know if what they're planting there is going to grow or not. They continue to water. And that's what we want to do as coaches. We are here to contribute, and we have so much to offer. No matter what your background is, we have so much to offer people who are just getting started, or people who are interested in the coaching opportunity. Hunters, on the other hand, you guys all know what that feels like, right? Have you been hit before with those messages where you're like, feel like you are getting hunted down to purchase a product? I definitely have. Okay, so one of my good friends calls this commission breath, and I think that's a really funny comparison. She's like, I can smell your commission breath from like way on the opposite side of the world on the internet, and like, yuck, it just smells disgusting. You need to stop. And so I think of that anytime I'm going to talk to someone that I don't know very well, is that we really need to try to produce that, that concept of like fear of missing out. Like, if you are not here with me, you are missing out, because we are having that much fun. We've got FOMO up in here. So you want everyone to feel like they are missing out if they're not with you, rather than breathing that yucky commission breath all over them of, I'm just trying to get something out of you. They come across so differently, and it really doesn't actually change. I would say that you'll get way more people that way, and they're going to be more genuine people and people who are your style. So in order to, how do you produce that FOMO effect, that fear of missing out? You need to be providing them 80% content, 80% of what they need, so that the 20% of the time that you say, hey, I've got this going on, I've got this challenge group going on, would anyone like to participate with me? They're actually going to read that post. Like, they'll actually read it, and they'll actually listen, and they'll actually participate in the conversation and consider it, because you have already provided so much content that not only do they feel like, okay, like I kind of owe it to this person who has provided so much to me to at least hear her out, but also they feel like they know you. So it doesn't feel like a stranger throwing out an advertisement. Now it feels like your best friend saying, girl, you have to try this. This is amazing. This is amazing. You have to do this with me. Okay, so very, very different mindset going in. Some crops die. I know this sounds really, really morbid, but like it's not going to work out with everyone. Some will, some won't. Move on. Like, who's next? So what? Who's next? We just have to keep moving on. But here's the difference between real farmers and what we're doing here as coaches. In my experience of farming in Kansas here, if a crop dies, if something isn't working out, you just kind of like, I grew up in the city, guys, so I don't really know like the technical, you hoe, I think. You hoe over the spot. You just fill it all in, you cover it all up, and you put something else in its spot, and you forget about that crop that has died. That's not what we do in Beachbody. We leave a spot open for everyone. And when one person is not on board, maybe you ask them when they're not ready, or maybe they tried to be ready, but they just weren't, and it wasn't their time. I want you to think of it as all these little like crop holes. And every time you send a new invite, you're digging another one, and you're going to leave that open. You're going to leave that open unless the crop crawls up and throws dirt over itself, okay, and closes it for you. That's what we do as coaches. We keep on putting into them. We're going to add water. We're going to add nutrition to the soil. And we're going to keep doing that because that's what we do as coaches. So save their spot. Okay, so where to plant. This really comes down to your target market. I did this so wrong. And my coaches may have heard me talk about this before. It should be kind of embarrassing, but you know, whatever. Just tell it how it is, right? Some of my new coaches on this call may not have heard this before, and so you may judge me a little bit. Fair enough. But my idea when I started this business was if I can just find the perfect target market, like if I can just think of the perfect person and find this market, then everything's going to work out. And I'm going to fly, and I'm going to have all these coaches, and it's going to be amazing. And so I started trying to figure it out. Like instead of sending invites and just sending invites to see what sticks, I was trying to find this like master shape of a person. And guys, it doesn't work that way. So my idea was swingers. I thought that swingers were the perfect target market. I'm not a swinger myself, not really my lifestyle. And that's fine if you are, rock on. But my idea was they're perfect because two people, they could both be attracted to me. Every swinger I've ever met has been really attractive, super into their health and fitness, and I always see them going to all these fancy resorts. So clearly they have money. So that's going to be the perfect person to get involved in my business because they're going to be able to afford it. They care about health and fitness, and maybe they'll both like me, and this will be really, really fun. This sounds so great. No. Swingers are not my target market because I was not a swinger before I started Beachbody. So that's not who you should be marketing to. That does not mean that people who are outside of your target market will never come and find you. But my target market isn't necessarily who I thought it was going to be, or maybe who I wanted it to be because it would have been more convenient. My target market also was not the refugees. In fact, they have higher priorities than their health and fitness right now, being new citizens in the United States, right? So just because I wanted to help them did not mean that they should be the people that I am marketing towards. So two very, very different things. So what I want you to think about is who were you when you started? So for some of you, that was 5 months ago. For some of you, that was 5 years ago. For some of you, that was like 5 minutes ago, and that's okay. But you've probably learned a lot in the past 5 minutes, and you need to think about yourself before you started and talk to that person. Some people create avatars. I really like that because I have a great imagination. So my girl's name is Ashley, and I write my posts all to her. And she loves the gym. She already loves health and fitness. She already cares about her body. She's trying, and she's so frustrated with not getting results. and she really doesn't know how to take care of herself, but she doesn't want to admit it. So when I'm creating my posts, I'm creating those posts to meet her needs, to answer her questions, and to provide her with content. So using that, what we want to do is we want to break up our posts into what you think, what you like, and what you do. Okay, because if really we want them to feel like they know you through your posts. And so if you are posting about what you think, what you really like and what you don't like, and the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, that's pretty much what your friends and family know about you, right? So let's break that down. What you think can be any of these things and probably more. My advice to you would be to stop hiding what's hard. That doesn't mean word vomit. That doesn't mean like put out your soul and your entire life story every time you post something. But if it's hard for you and it was hard for you when you started, it's hard for somebody else. And that's what we're doing as coaches. We're helping make that first step easier for somebody. So don't hide what's hard, talk about it. That can be through a live video. That can be through a video that you upload. The live videos get much more reach. So I highly recommend it, even though I avoid it. We can talk about that later. It can be a meme that represents that. It could be a picture, something shareable, or it could be something helpful, just a straight up list of tips. So I take any of these and I try to either post it as something personal, something shareable, or something helpful. I'm going to say that again, something personal, something shareable, and something helpful. You will attract and repel with your opinions, and that's okay. We want to attract the people who will like us, who will like our stories, who will like our sense of humor, and we actually want to repel people who are not going to dig that at all. Because I would much rather just have you look at my hair and know we're not going to be each other's people and walk away than to come and meet me and just barely get to know me on the surface. And then we find out a year down the road after I've invested my whole heart into you that I'm not your people. So the more that you put out what you think, your opinions, don't worry about the fact that there are people out there who won't agree. Okay, so like there's a difference between being a jerk and saying your opinion. So like, you know, if you worry that you're going to cross that line, maybe don't post it. But putting your opinions out there will attract your tribe and push away people who are not in it. Your sense of humor through memes, through something shareable, through tips that are humorous. Like I love to meal prep by going to the buffet. I go to the buffet, get a to-go box, fill that shit all up, bring it back to my house, set the containers out, and I put it all in my little boxes, and I am meal prepped for the week and ready to go because I don't cook. Breadcrumb your story. So you want to take whatever your story is and break it down into one simple story. 85% of people process information through story, not through fact. So by telling a little story before every set of tips, people are much more likely to remember it. The A-B comparison, should I wear this shoe or this shoe? Should I put this color in my hair or this color in my hair? People love getting involved and telling you what they think. Drip your Beachbody content. So that means it should be woven throughout, little by little. But if you look on your wall, you should be able to tell that you are someone who is there to help them with their health and fitness, that you are approachable, but not the yucky commission breath, buy this and my Shakeology and my cup. No. Okay, what you like, what you don't. So quirks, your dislikes, your favorite TV shows. Man, you want to get a lot of people talking. Ask them what they like to watch on Netflix and let me know how that goes for you. Crazy response. So we want to get people going. We want to get people talking because the more they interact with your page, That means that they are going to see your posts as they come up, which is important. 3 to 4 things. That's like your 3 to 4 things that people know you by. And pretty much anybody, if they know me, if they're on my page and you said, hey, tell me 3 to 4 things about Kerri Steelman-Shmidt, they would probably say something like colorful and ridiculous, refugee children, like some sort of connection to the refugee community, health and fitness, and depending on which stage of my life I met them in, possibly tacos or pizza or nachos. I kind of go in stages. So you want to be tag worthy. So post about something so much, so often in different ways, through tips, something helpful, shareable, and personal, that people want to tag you in it. So if no one is tagging you in post about specific topics, that tells me that your content is not focused enough. What you do. So yes, this includes proof of the product, which does not mean shaker cup, and we will come to that later. Proof of the product. Show what workouts you're doing. But also, we want to know your outside interests. What do you do outside of Beachbody? What makes you a human being and not a Beachbody Barbie? Okay? What do you do in different situations? Because that girl that, falling off my chair. What do you do in different situations? Because showing how you handle different situations tells a lot about you and your character and your personality. So for example, I made a video about a really mean airline attendant, flight attendant, and he called me the B word, and it was really awful. And he called an older lady that too. And I made this whole I am shocked and really upset about this video, but in the end, I basically said what opportunity those people have to brighten people's days. And I don't want this person to be in trouble, but I do think that we need to increase training and sensitivity training. And so how you handle different things that come your way, people are going to be drawn to that. Share. And now we talk about making it useful. So this is the number one mistake that I see not my newer coaches, but newer coaches in general making. And I think that coaches slowly are making the shift away from this. Okay. Posts that serve. Remember, 80% of your posts need to be serving someone, so that 20% of the time you can ask them to consider your challenges or to hear you out on the things that you are wanting them to do. So sweaty selfie, not unless you are including a workout tip. So if you're going to put your sweaty face on my news feed, it better come. You're cute, all of you. I've looked at all of your pictures. You're all adorable, but it needs to come with some sort of advice. Otherwise, your sweaty selfie is going to get scrolled over so fast because we see someone's sweaty face one time and that's plenty, right? Am I right? That's enough. So you need to bring some sweat and tips, maybe a workout idea. It could be a nutrition idea. It could be what you do to stretch after your workout. It could be your workout clothes. It could be best sneakers to wear. It could be best hair tie to put your hair in. It could be anything, how you wake up early to work out. So tons and tons of ideas, but just think, is my sweaty face helping someone? The answer is no, it's not. It's cute though, so keep it. Just add something to it. Same with your shake pick. Who is your shake pick serving? Maybe people who already drink Shakeology a little bit, because it might remind them to drink their shake. But that's not who we're trying to reach right now. We're not trying to reach people who already drink Shakeology. So if you're going to have a shake in the picture, don't make it the only thing that's in there. Add a little bit more. Maybe you can mention the struggles that you have had with finding the correct nutrition and how Shakeology solves that problem for you. Or maybe some of the ingredients that are in shake that are in Shakeology and what they serve, like the purpose that they serve, because that's giving information and facts and tips to people. So make sure that you're looking for these ingredients in the foods that you eat, right? So you want to give tips. So food pick, not unless you are including a how-to guide or a recipe or ingredients or something. Okay, so once again, your stuff looking pretty isn't going to cut it. It doesn't help anybody. Okay, so now that we've gone through the ways to attract the tribe, how are we doing on time? Okay. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, we're good. I think it'll warn us when we have like 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. All right, so now that we have talked about how to attract your tribe, I'm going to show you how to take that tribe and turn them into leaders, like how to make them interact and grow their leadership skills. So the first thing is leadership. So I've got leadership, collaboration, and recognition. So those are the three things that I mostly do, just in case it gets cut off. Leadership, collaboration, recognition. Those are the three keys, in my opinion. This is in the wrong order. So leadership should not be I do, you do, we do. The we do and the you do should be switched around. So that's such a teacher thing. But basically, I'm going to do something, and then we're going to do it together, and then you're going to do it on your own. And so if you're a new coach, you need to be seeking out those opportunities to watch your coach in action or watch top coaches in action, then to actually do the vital behaviors with that person so that you can make sure that you're doing it right, see if you're on pace, and then try them on your own. That is how you build leaders, confident leaders. In my free group, even though it's not a Beachbody group, I actually will have leaders that are designated in that group. They are not Beachbody coaches. They maybe have just joined the group, and I think that they have awesome content to share. And so I'll reach out to them and say, hey, I would love to have you be a co-leader in this group. Would you be willing to post your yoga ideas on Mondays? Because I really know that there's a lot of girls in this group who are interested in yoga, and I think that you could add some content that would be really valuable. So I build up their leadership skills, and then it's like, hey, man, you're pretty much doing the same thing I'm doing, but I'm getting paid and you're not. Would you like to change that? Right? Pretty simple. Monthly challenger and coach leaders. So this is something that has been so much fun that I've done in my challenges. So I have those coaches who are kind of on the edge, right? And they're like, I don't really know if I want to coach. I don't think I don't know if I really want to do that, but they're doing an awesome job as a challenger. So at that point I would say, hey, I really need your help. I need a team captain who has done this challenge before, who can help out my new people. I'm going to put you guys all in a message thread, and I want you to ask them a question every single day to help them stay on track, answer their questions, keep them engaged. And I think it's going to really help you stay on track too. And so they'll do that. And then a couple weeks in, I notice you're doing an amazing job leading these people through a challenge. You're doing the same thing that I'm doing, but you're not getting paid. Would you like to change that? Okay, so same thing. I have become really good at identifying talent, but I don't keep that to myself. I share that. I share that when I notice that people are talented in different ways. I share that with them and encourage them through that. Whatever their talent is, that's where I'm going to ask for their help. Most people aren't willing to send you a text message and say, hey, I'm really good at this. Would you like me to start doing that in your group? Unlikely. So you have to be the one to notice the talent both in your challenge groups and in your free groups and in your schools and in your communities and in your friend groups. Hey, you are really, really good at fill in the blank. I have this need. Like my awesome mother-in-law who is bedazzling all the shaker cups to give away as free gifts. Okay, so just like know the talents of the people who are around you and see if they can get involved in some way. But because by getting them involved in some way, they are more likely to want to learn more about the rest of the process. The goal of a leader is to help their people to outshine them. I would love for everyone in my group to be a higher rank than me, to be a better leader, to impact more lives than I do, to be even more fit, to eat healthier. And so leaders who get into that mindset of always wanting to be better than everyone they work with, they really hold their leaders back. And I think it all really comes down to leading with integrity. So recognition, a few things that I do community spotlights. So these are not Beachbody coaches. These are people in the community. It can be someone in a health, who teaches a health class. It could be somebody who is working at like the Department of Health. It could be someone who is a doctor in town. It could be whoever it is that you're wanting to network with. You might not really know how to approach them and ask them if they're interested to try a Beachbody product, but I bet you would feel more comfortable reaching out to them and saying, I see you. You are doing amazing things for our community. I would love to highlight you on my page. Would you be willing to answer a couple questions to be my community spotlight for the week? Now you instantly have this connection with the person and you're starting to build a relationship there. You're building up their ego a little bit and they are much more likely to listen to what you have to say. I do work shout outs. If there's people who are making healthy choices at my work, I'll put that out there, like shout out to this person who has lost this many pounds this week. I'm so proud of you. Whether they're a Beachbody client or not, recognize the people around you that are doing amazing things. I do weekly team winner collages. We put together postcards with all the coaches like, we love you. And we send that out to challengers who have logged their stuff every single day of a challenge. I will do a challenger of the week spotlight. So you notice I'm doing some things to recognize my coaches, to recognize my challengers, and to recognize people who are not yet in either of those categories. And the reason I'm doing that is because I really, really think that just recognizing the people around you keeps you grateful and helps to spotlight what you are doing, but in a it doesn't always have to be about you to highlight you. That makes sense. Okay, and then the last thing that I do is foster collaboration. So I have a leadership team in my free group. They work together. I have my little captains in my challenges. They make up their own team names. They have to hashtag their team name with each of their own little teams. So it's like they're competing against each other within my challenge. They have food message threads and they get to make up their own name and their own little collage. We have a lot of events. I just had 18 of my coaches go to Super Saturday in Kansas City. We all drove in from different places and matching outfits. And we went in there with the bells and whistles on, let me tell you what. Challenge prizes, the photo collage. So those are all things that my coaches collaborate on, and we all help each other with these things. So if as a leader, if you're ever not really sure what they can work on together, those are a few ideas. Like, hey, could you help me out with this? Could you guys work together to create a postcard for our challengers? Could you guys work together to design our shirts? Could this team work together to put on a personal development challenge for our challengers or our free group or whatever it may be? So remember the farmer mentality. We're here to nourish and serve. The 80-20 rule. Share what you like, think, and do to draw on your tribe, and use collaboration, leadership, and recognition to help them flourish. That's pretty much it, guys. 2 minutes left. Woo!
This is perfect timing because it's about to shut off like any second, but that was amazing, Kerri. Like I took over 3 pages of notes and everyone's saying how awesome and original these ideas are. Like I love this. I cannot wait to implement like right now. So I am so pumped. Like so many notes. Yeah, Brianne, Lisa, like thank you so much. So excited. Do you guys want to unmute yourselves and thank Kerri? I think we're going to get cut off in like any second right now, but thank you so much, Kerri. I am so excited. I will have this recording up as soon as possible so you can share it with your team because it was amazing.
Feel free to send me questions.
Oh, you're so
Thank
awesome.
you.
Bye.
Bye, ladies. Have a great night. Thanks, Kerri.
Bye, Amber and Erica.